Hey everyone, it's Nicole, and today I'm bringing you my October TBR. So in October, I'm going to be participating in 2 readathons, the Blackoweenathon, of course, hosted by my good friend Bree over at the Locked Booktician, and then the second readathon I'm going to be participating in is It's Britney Witch, and that's hosted by my friends Whitney over at BookswhitMe and Lorryn at ReadingParent. Both of these readathons have story graph challenges, and I find that is super helpful when kind of compiling your TBR, and I just love it. You can add books to the prompts. I love that feature on Storygraph. So that's what I'm going to be like basically looking at when telling you what I'm going to be reading for these readathons. I have Storygraph pulled up over here, so if I look over this way, I have those pulled up, and I have doubled up on challenges for each readathon, but then also for in between readathons. So I have one book for a prompt for Blackoweenathon, and that same book is for a prompt for It's Britney Witch. And that's simply because there's a lot of prompts for It's Britney Witch and not really a lot of prompts for Blackoweenathon, but there's a lot of books that fit the prompts for Blackoweenathon that I'm really interested in reading. So I just wanted to make sure that they are on there. So I am just going to jump right in and get started. I have 33 books to tell you about. So I feel like what is easiest is to tell you the book and then tell you which prompts that they work for. So I'm going to start off with Blackoweenathon first. And the first book that I want to talk about is The Turning by Pepper Pace. This is a vampire paranormal romance, and this will work for prompts mystery and underrated author. Because I feel like I've never heard anyone talk about Pepper Pace on BookTube, so I feel like if you feel like an underrated book is something that is like a book you really, or an author that you really love but people don't really talk about, I don't know. This is going to be my first time reading Pepper Pace, so I'm hoping it works. But I simply put them in underrated author just because I literally have never heard anyone talk about Pepper Pace on BookTube. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is Adaptation by Pepper Pace. This is a dystopian sci-fi romance, and it's kind of takes place on Earth after aliens have kind of taken over. So I put this could be under for thriller because, you know, being invaded by aliens can be kind of scary. And after, you know, everything happened, our main character is kind of like on her own. So there are like some thrilling moments of being in like that kind of post-apocalyptic world. And then also for underrated author because, again, it is Pepper Pace. And the next book that I'm interested in reading is Hideaway by Rochelle Ehlers. I think that's how you say the last name. And this is a romantic suspense. And I feel like this can work for mystery because in the synopsis, the very first line of the synopsis says, "No secrets are safe." And if you're like, okay, secrets, mysterious, what's going on? Our main character, Paris, from the synopsis, she's also in hiding from her ex-husband. So that's kind of like a thrilling aspect. So this could work for a thriller as well. Also, this works for if you're looking to read books in the 1900s because this was published in 1995. And again, I've never heard anyone talk about Rochelle Ehlers, so I put this in the underrated authors category as well. The next few books that I'm going to be talking about, I'm very excited to be diving into these ones because first of all, the covers look stunning and they're like fantasy sci-fi paranormals, which I'm really loving. So I'm very excited about that. The next book that I want to talk about is Of Fear and Faith by N.D. Jones. And I put this under mystery because one of our main characters is like a detective, and not just like a regular detective, but like a paranormal detective who's assigned to a murder case. So we have that kind of murder mystery going on. I also put N.D. Jones under like the underrated author because, again, this is the first time I'm hearing about this author. I haven't heard anyone talk about N.D. Jones. So I was really excited that I found this author. Next book is A Queen's Pride by N.D. Jones. And this is a coming of age like shifter story. So in the description, just right from the synopsis, it says lies, murder, vengeance. It says, for centuries, full humans have descended on shifter lands, killing and claiming. Like sharks scenting blood in the water, they devour all in their murderous path. So I feel like this could be, this is definitely like thriller because there's murders going on. Our main character is kidnapped at one point, so that's very thrilling, suspenseful. And like I said, again, underrated author. And the next book I want to talk about, this is probably the one that I am the most excited about to read because, first of all, this cover is gorgeous. As soon as I saw this cover, I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to read this. It's called Crimson Hunter. Look at this cover. It is stunning. I have to actually look into this and see if I can get a physical copy of this book because this cover is stunning. So it's a Red Riding Hood retelling. You can see that just from the cover. I love retellings so much. And I feel like you do get a lot of Beauty and the Beast, so I like when you get other retellings. So I'm really excited about this one. And I just love this synopsis. She's not afraid of big bad werewolves. They're afraid of her. Oh. The War of Eternal Hunger freed witches from the rule of werewolves, ending a patriarchy only to create a matriarchy. I love it already. Love it already. 1,000 years later, Orana, matriarch of Steelcross and Crimson Hunter, is a young, untried ruler who seeks to bridge the divide between witches and werewolves. I am just so excited for this. Like, our love interest is a witch and a werewolf, and they're trying to bridge. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic. So I read a review about this book and it said that there are some suspenseful moments in here, so I put it under the thriller category. And then also I put it under for the underrated author. Next book I'm going to be reading is Ace of Spades. Now this is a very hyped book. I feel like everybody has been talking about it and I'm the last person to read it. I feel like that's always the way it is with hype books for me. So even just from the synopsis, this is mystery, thriller, LGBTQ representation. In the synopsis, it says Gossip Girl meets Get Out. So Get Out to me was scary. So there's definitely some horror elements in this as well. And just the tags on Storygraph, it says thriller, dark, mysterious, tense, fast-paced. So I feel like this can work for a lot of prompts. And the next book that I'm interested in reading is A Deadly Inside Scoop by Abby Collette. And this is a cozy mystery, so obviously it works for the mystery prompt. Another cozy mystery that I'm really interested in reading is Murder in G Major by Alexia Gordon. So this is another cozy mystery, works for the mystery prompt. And also Hollywood Homicide by Kelly Garrett. I believe that's how you say the first name. So these all work for the mystery prompts because they're cozies. I don't know if they work for any other prompts. Usually cozy mysteries aren't really they're not horror and they don't really have any kind of thrilling or suspenseful aspects because they're cozy. They're kind of like the light side of the mystery genre. A few romantic suspense books that I'm interested in, Deadly Sexy by Beverly Jenkins and also Sexy Dangerous. So I feel like with the romantic suspense, suspenseful can equate to thrilling aspects, so that can work for the thriller prompt. Also, typically with romantic suspense, there's some sort of murder investigation going on, so there is that murder mystery, so it can work for that prompt as well. And I love Beverly Jenkins so much. I cannot wait to just read all of her backlist, so any excuse I have to read Beverly Jenkins is just amazing. Another couple romantic suspenses that I'm interested in is His to Protect by Sharon C. Cooper. I do have the physical copy over here, and I just love this cover. Love this cover. Look at this. I just love it. It's beautiful. I love it. She looked a criminal in the eye, and now she's a target. Dun, dun, dun. So that one, His to Protect by Sharon C. Cooper. And also Cold Case True Crime by Denise N. Wheatley. Romantic suspense. And just the name of the series, An Unsolved Mystery. So it works for the mystery prompt. Suspense, thriller. It works, okay? I'm stretching a little bit, but it works. Bree said I can use romantic suspense. And another book that I'm interested in reading is Let Me Protect You by Jessica Cage. And This just already is a mystery just from reading the synopsis. It says, Trish wakes up in the home of a man unknown to her. Clothes torn, memory lost. She must figure out what transpired and who was responsible for hurting her. So there's obviously that mystery going on. She has some kind of amnesia, so it works for the mystery prompt. I feel like there could be some, you know, thrilling aspects going on depending on what kind of danger she's in. So this could work for multiple prompts. Another book that I'm interested in reading by this author is Last Stop. And this, from the tags on Storygraph, it says it's a horror, so this works for the horror prompt. So it says, all Josephine wanted to do was to explore the world through the lens of her camera. Just days after landing her dream job, Josephine's world is turned upside down. A phantom tells her of a gift she has possessed since birth, but it isn't as amazing as he would want her to believe. That's kind of mysterious. So it could work for horror, mystery. There is actually a review on this book that says it's a nerve-wracking, thrilling suspense. So there you go. Works for multiple prompts. Next book that I'm interested in reading is called Black Soul by Kiru Tay. I believe that's how you say it. I was very, very interested in just the little tagline on the book. It said, he will damn his soul to set hers free. Very interested in just from that alone, I'm very interested in this. It can work for the thriller prompt, and this also can work for the Caribbean or the African diaspora prompt. Another book that I'm interested in reading is called The Secret Keepers. This is book number 1 in the Blackwater Tales. Bree over at the Locked Booktician, she has talked about this series some on her channel. So this, just from the tags on Storygraph, horror, mystery, thriller. There you go. Works for 3 prompts. Another book I want to read is All Things Burn by Jody Slaughter. This is a romantic suspense. From what I have heard my romance booktuber friends talk about this book, is that it is pretty dark. Jody Slaughter has also put some trigger warning and content warnings in the synopsis as well. So it's themes of violence, murder, and domestic violence. So, you know, trigger warnings for that. So it's a romantic suspense. It'll work for the thriller prompt. Another book that I'm really interested in reading is Hide and Seeker by Daijah Herman. So this is like a children's horror or middle grade horror or thriller. So I just really love this cover too. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I also put Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler on here just because I was supposed to read this for another readathon and I just could not make it happen. So hopefully I can make it happen for the Blackoweenathon. It just seems like it would be a perfect book to read in October. Another book I want to read is My Soul to Keep. I believe Bree has did a live stream about this book on her channel, or she did like a collab with someone on someone else's channel, but I remember hearing about this book from Bree, and it's a horror. And this also can work for reading books in the 1900s because this was published in 1997. I feel like this can also work for the mystery prompt because even in the synopsis, it says, when Jessica marries David, he is everything she wants in a family man. Brilliant, attentive, ever youthful. That's a red flag. Yet she still feels something about him is just out of reach. Soon, as people close to Jessica begin to meet violent, mysterious deaths, David makes an unimaginable confession. I feel like that's mysterious. Mysterious. It could work. It'll work. Okay, I could be stretching some of these books, but Bree said I could. So there. And last book that I'm interested in reading for the Blackoweenathon is Son of the Storm. And I'm in love with this cover. I'm in love with this cover. It's so beautiful. I love it. I need a physical copy of this book. And this is for the prompt for the Caribbean or African diaspora. There's really, I mean, it's a fantasy. I don't think, I mean, when I read it, I mean, I don't know if there's any kind of like suspenseful or thrilling aspects of it or like mysterious. It's not a horror. It doesn't say that on Storygraph. It just says fiction and fantasy. So I don't know if this will work for any other prompt, but I desperately want to read this book because it just looks stunning. Hey everyone, Editing Nicole here. I just wanted to bring to your attention some erotic horror by Black authors that I found. If you would like to stay, around kind of like the romance side, but there's a few here that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm gonna try and read those as well. The reason why I did not include them when I was filming my TBR is because I was going off of what I had on Storygraph, and I didn't have a chance to put these erotic horrors on Storygraph yet. I literally just put them on the Blackoweenathon Google Doc that Brie had, so I just added them in there. So when I was filming, I wasn't looking at this sheet, I was looking at Storygraph, and I did not add them to Storygraph yet, which I'm going to do maybe after I film this. But so I just wanted to bring those to your attention. First books here are books 1 and 2 of the Mist series by Regine Abel. That is the same author who wrote I Married a Lizard Man and I Married a Naga. And so the first book in the Mist series is called The Mist Walker. I'm more interested in book 2. It does say on Goodreads that they can be read as standalones. So I'm more interested in book 2 of this series, which is The Nightmare. So I just felt like this could work perfectly for Blackoweenathon, just because it looks like kind of like a spooky romance. And then I found another author, Brianne Burnett. She has quite a few, like paranormal erotic books. Passions at Hell's Gate, which is like a demon erotica. Rotting Desires. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a zombie erotica. And literally in the synopsis, it said that the zombies in this story aren't looking to eat like just flesh. And I'm like, what else are they looking to eat? So very excited about that. Bound by Bloodlust, which is a vampire erotica. Her Infernal Release, another demon. The next 4 I want to say are Ghosts, Ecstasy and Lockdown, Lusty Spirits, Haunted by Desire, and Longing for His Touch. Those are all ghost eroticas. And last one I have from this author is Releasing the Demon, which is a demon erotica. And last one that I found, Baby Girl Innocence by Marcus T. Jones. So I just wanted to add those on there because I forgot to do it when I was filming this TBR. So yeah, those books I'm gonna add to Storygraph. If you want to look at the Blackoweenathon Google Doc, there will be on there as well. Kind of down towards the bottom is where the romances are. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that. All right, back to the video. Okay, so it's a lot, I know. Those are all the books that I'm interested in reading for Blackoweenathon. Moving on to It's Britney Witch Readathon. So some of these books will sound familiar because I am going to try and double up. There's a lot of prompts for It's Britney Witch. So I feel like that's the only way it's going to work. It's the only way. So again, I'm just going to be talking about the book and then which prompts they work for. Because again, doubling up. So first one, Ace of Spades. So this is going to work for the hyped book prompt and also a debut prompt. Next book I'm going to read is 7 Deadly Sequins by Julianne Lindsay. This is book number 2 in the Bonnie and Clyde mystery series. This is her new indie published cozy mystery series. And that is for the prompt, read a book in one sitting. This is for a book club book. So I typically read these books in one day while at work before the live stream. So I have a feeling that this is just going to be my one sitting prompt. I mean, it can work for technically any book, but I feel like this would probably be the most likely of one. And then also read a book with a number in the title, 7 Deadly Sequins. Next book I'm going to read is Every New Year by KATRINA Jackson. This is for the prompt, read a second chance romance and read a book with a star on the cover. If you look in the background behind our beautiful main character, those balloons are stars. Hopefully, if I'm remembering the book cover correctly. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Yes, these are stars. They look like stars. They're stars. It's fine. It's fine. Next book, adaptation by Pepper Pace. This is that sci-fi dystopian book, so that is going to be for the prompt, read a book with a star on the cover if that other book didn't make it, and also read a dystopian. Next book I'm going to reread is Your Dad Will Do by Katie Robert. This is for the prompt, read a spicy romance and to reread a book. I am rereading this book in October because my book club, Who Picked This Book Club, is having our late night special on Saturday, October 23rd, where we will be talking about this book. So I will leave that link so you can set your reminder in the description box for you. Next book I want to read is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. This is going to be for the prompt, read a book your friend picked out because Jen picked this book for our book club, and read a book with a snake on the cover. Next book is Kingdom of the Cursed by Carrie Maniscalco, and that fits for the prompt, read a book that is 400 plus pages and read a sequel. Next book I want to read is A Queen's Pride by N.D. Jones. This is that coming of age shifter story. So this fits perfectly for the prompt, read a coming of age story. Next book I'm going to read is Let Me Protect You by Jessica Cage, and this is going to work for the psychological thriller prompt. Next book, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder by R.L. Stine. I'm fitting some goosebumps in here because I feel like after pulling what I could from Blackoweenathon to fit in the prompts for the It's Britney Witch Readathon, I still had like 1 or 2 prompts left over. So I'm like, what are some short books, short, quick reads that I can just add and fill in these prompts? And I'm like, I have a bunch of Goosebumps books. And I feel like reading Goosebumps is perfect for October and like Halloween themed readathons. So this is gonna work for the prompt, read a book that is focusing on music. Next book I want to read is Crimson Hunter by N.D. Jones. This is for the prompt, read a book with a bright cover. I feel like this has a lot of different bright colors on the cover, and also to read a sci-fi book. Next book I want to read is The Cuckoo Clock of Doom by R.L. Stine, another Goosebumps book. And this is going to be for the prompt, read a book with a clock or time on the book cover itself or in the title. Next book I'm going to read is The Dare by Harley LaRue. This is kind of like a dark erotic romance. And this is for the prompt, read a book that's split into sections. So this book is, there's like parts 1, part 2, part 3, that kind of thing. Next book I'm going to be reading is One Day at Horrorland by R.L. Stine, and that is for the prompt, read a book about the circus or a carnival. Next book I want to read is Deadly Sexy by Beverly Jenkins. This is for the prompt, read a book that's been on your radar. Read a book with somewhere you would like to visit. This book takes place in California. I really love visiting California. My husband and I take vacations there quite a bit. Catalina Island mostly. That's off the coast of California. And also for the prompt, read a book where the main character's job is the focus. So one of the main characters in this book is a detective and there is a murder investigation going on. So it does kind of focus around the main character's job. And the last book that I want to read for the It's Britney Witch Readathon is All Things Burn by Jody Slaughter. This is for the prompt, read a book from your favorite genre, and that's romantic suspense. I love romantic suspense, so this fits that prompt perfectly. All right, whew, that was a lot of books. It flew by. I believe it's 33 books in total. If I'm wrong, editing Nicole will put the correct number here somewhere. If you've read any of these books, let me know which one I should start with first. Both of these readathons are going all month long. Announcement videos and people who created the readathons, their links to their social medias will be in the description box below for you. Go ahead and like my video if you did, comment below and subscribe to my channel, and you can follow me on all the social media platforms. Links will be in the description box below. We'll see you next time, avid readers.